Hola and welcome to my Chica Power Breakup Survival Guide Part 1 video. Let me begin by saying how sorry I am that you are experiencing a breakup. Any breakup, even if it's for the best, is a sad event in my opinion because it usually involves hurt feelings from at least one side, if not both sides. Some breakups can feel like it's the end of the world because you just love that person so much, and so now it's going to be very difficult for you to live without them. I've been there a few times, chicas, and I'm here to tell you that you can and will make it through. You are stronger than you think. I want to take a minute here and say that if at any point you feel like there's no hope and you're contemplating ending your life, please seek professional help immediately. See the links in the description for suicide prevention hotlines. I've been divorced for almost 8 years now, and I've done my fair share of dating during that time. I've also done my fair share of breaking up. Let's just say that I've learned a ton along the way, so I'm hoping to share some of that out with you chicas who may be just starting out. I also want to explain here that I'm a heterosexual, cisgender woman, so my advice will come from that perspective and therefore apply mostly to others of the same sexual orientation and gender identity. Additionally, I'm providing advice for women that are looking for an actual relationship or true love, not a hookup or a fling. I really don't have any experience with that type of approach to dating. And one last thing about my relationship advice. I'm all about self-love and being true to yourself. So if you're looking for dating advice that's centered around how to get the guy or how to get him back in this case, there are other YouTube channels out there that can help you with that. See the links in my description. My dating advice is always going to be centered around your best interests, how to stay safe, how to not betray yourself, and how to always keep your dignity intact. Because sometimes the only thing you get to walk away from a relationship with is just that, your dignity. Hola chicas poderosas, I'm Mari Rosas and this is my YouTube channel Chica Power, where you learn how to fall in love with yourself first. I just want to take a minute here and ask a favor. If you like this video and find it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel. You can also ring the bell for notifications. That way you'll know every time I upload a new video. I think we can all agree here that one of the most difficult aspects of dating is dealing with the aftermath of a breakup. It doesn't really matter who did the breaking up. Maybe you ended it, maybe he ended it. If there were any deep or genuine feelings involved, there's bound to be some pain and complex feelings to unpack and deal with after the fact. The feelings that we experience after the loss of a relationship, particularly a long-term relationship, can sometimes be similar to those that we experience when we're grieving the death of someone close to us. Case in point, the breakup, not including my divorce, that I had the worst time recovering from was that of a 2-year relationship that I ended because I felt betrayed. How long is a full recovery going to take, you might ask? Some say that it takes about half of the duration of the relationship, but I don't believe in those types of formulas. It depends on several different factors, in my opinion. The duration of the relationship is certainly one of these, but factors such as intensity, how well you knew your partner before you started dating, your own personality and/or attachment type, and the expectations that were established during the relationship must all come into play. For example, I was in a long-term relationship, and my definition of a long-term relationship here is a committed relationship that lasts a year or more. So I was in this long-term relationship for 1.5 years with a man, and I spent very little time recovering from that relationship. Yet, it took me several months to recover from a subsequent relationship that only lasted 5 months. The long-term relationship with Richard, which is a fictional name, had dragged on way longer than it should have because I happened to be dating him when my ex-husband tragically and unexpectedly passed away. This is hands down the worst thing that has ever happened in my life and in my precious daughter's life. And Richard did provide me with some support during that time, and I was grateful to him for that. So I ended up giving him a wide berth with the disrespectful behavior that he started showing to me after several months. By the time I ended that relationship, I was so done with him that the only sort of pain that I felt was anger at myself for not having ended it sooner. The 5-month relationship that I mentioned was with a man that I had been friends with since high school. Let's call him Manuel. And although the relationship was relatively short and not very intense, I had known him for well over 20 years. I trusted him. We had a lot of commonalities. We had very similar ethnic backgrounds and upbringing. And so I had allowed myself to imagine a future with him. In this case, he ended the relationship, but it was the expectations that I had brought into the relationship that made it more difficult for me to move on emotionally. So you see, the amount of time that it's going to take to fully recover from a relationship cannot be predicted by a simple formula. I believe that there are some definite do's and don'ts in the breakup recovery process. The goal here is for you to work through your feelings in a healthy way so that you heal completely, are actually strengthened by the experience, while ensuring that your heart remains supple, open, and capable of vulnerability for a future relationship or whatever or whomever you decide to set your heart on down the line. In thinking about the process of recovering after a breakup, I thought to myself that it's kind of similar to that of recovering from a physical injury. So therefore, I decided to break my survival guide into 4 separate stages or videos. The first stage is triage, or assessing the injury, which is this video. The second stage is pain management, so that you can function and get through your daily life. Go to work, be a mom, do whatever it is that you need to do. The third stage is immobilization and healing. This is where you're going to do all the real work to get through this breakup. And then the fourth and final stage is getting back on your feet and moving on. However, even though I'm using this analogy of a physical injury, we're actually dealing with emotional trauma here. So what I want to mention is that you won't necessarily move through the stages in a completely linear fashion. Yes, you're going to start out with stage 1, 2, 3, 4, but you might move back and forth through those stages a little bit. Let me give you an example of that. So you might think that you're in stage 3, which is the healing stage, and then something might happen. For example, let's say you run into your ex with the new woman that he's dating, and it throws you right back into the pain management phase temporarily. You might need to stay in that pain management stage for a little while longer before you hop back into the healing process. So again, depending on how deeply you're hurt, you might need to move back and forth through these stages more than once. Additionally, your breakup injury may not warrant all 4 stages. Maybe all you need is a little bit of pain management and you can move right along. But the fact that you're here watching a video on breakup recovery leads me to believe that this may not be a very simple recovery. I'm going to be really honest with you, chicas. Stage 3, the immobilization and healing part, is, in my opinion, the most difficult. This is where you're going to be actively doing things to heal your heart and to work through the anger and resentment that typically follows that initial pain. While it may be very tempting to skip over that and move into the getting back on your feet and moving on stage, I assure you, if you don't do that important healing work, emotional healing work, it will affect your ability to fully move on and be ready for a healthy relationship later on down the line. So if we stick with my physical injury analogy here, if a broken bone doesn't heal properly, it will either not allow you to function properly, or it will have to be reset at some point in order to fully restore you. I don't know about you, but I'm a fan of healing properly the first time around. How about you? I recommend you watch all 4 of my breakup recovery videos, starting with pain management, and move on to the next stage when you feel ready. I'm putting my tried and true techniques into these videos, so you're in good hands. If you're watching this video right as it was released and I haven't put out my other 3 videos yet, I recommend that you watch my playlist on happiness and joy, because they'll give you some great tips on how to keep your spirits up while you wait for my pain management video. Well, that's it for today, chicas. My beautiful mommy often used refranes to land her message. A refrán is a wise Latina saying or adage. One of her favorites was, "No hay mal que por bien no venga," which translates into, there is no bad thing that doesn't come for a good reason. And very similar to the adage, every cloud has a silver lining. I truly believe in this, chicas. All of our failed relationships come with a lesson or lessons. Sometimes the lesson is not immediately obvious. It may take some time to reveal itself. You may make a better choice or take a wiser course of action in the future because of it. Or maybe this relationship failed because your true soulmate is still out there. I know you probably don't want to hear this right now, but please know that you will get through this. Please don't ever lose sight of how beautiful and special you are, chica. I'm going to do my best to help you through this breakup and get you all healed up properly so that you emerge from this situation even better than you were before. I hope you enjoyed this video. If so, give it a like and subscribe to my channel. And please, por favor, give me your comments and your questions down below. I read and respond to them all. Besos y abrazos a todas. Hugs and kisses to all. Mwah.